lively coming out. They be wondering what we talking about.
This is part 2, specially dedicated to Red Glove Militant, my brother from another mother. You know what I'm saying? I salute you and I respect you infinitely, straight like that. This ties in to another YouTube channel I like to watch, Ring IQ. It's on the topic of Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, Yordenis Ugas, the accident, the disagreement between me and Red Glove Militant, even though when I made my videos, I didn't even know what his take was. Even though I did hear him when he did his song parody on the I thing about Spence, and I thought that was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? I listened to Blood whole video talking about Spence, and see, Blood is another person that's a brother. I know what he's saying no matter what he's saying. I don't need no translator. We cut from a similar cloth. I can listen to him say what he have to say, and then me and him ain't gonna never get into no beef over no nothing. Like, it just ain't gonna never happen. Period, point blank. I just know where he coming from and what he's saying. It ain't about what words he chooses to say. I just understand Blood, period. You know what I'm saying? He like my homie that I grew up with. The first person I walked into his house, and he didn't have a living room set. He just had a homemade bong sitting in the middle of the house with hoses coming so people could sit around like his. Okay, whatever. Off subject. On subject. I was listening to Ring IQ, and he was talking about Errol Spence. He was talking about Derrick James, and Derrick James was asked in an interview based off the performance of Manny Pacquiao versus Yordenis Ugas, how would Errol Spence have fared? How would he have done? And Derrick James said he would have broke his ribs and stopped him. Ring IQ had a whole video talking about, not a whole video. Sometimes when I click on Ring IQ, I have to kind of scroll through about half, because I do love and appreciate female boxing, but every time I click on a video, I don't want to watch the first 15 or 10 minutes talking about the female boxer. So sometimes I will, if I don't have time, sometimes I will scroll about 7-8 minutes into getting to the meat and potatoes of Ring IQ conversation. But he was talking about the same thing I said, and this is where I agree partially, because Ring IQ said what if instead of Spence stopping Manny Pacquiao, because who has Spence stopped in the last whatever fights? How about most likely, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, how about most likely Errol Spence would have went into the ring with Manny Pacquiao with that injury right on the verge of being a, you know, break or a tear, and Manny Pacquiao would have busted up his retina, detached his retina, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. And that's a good point. It's the same point that I made as a possibility. My only issue with it is he still didn't balance it out and say, but yes, you still have to give a possibility of Errol Spence beating Manny Pacquiao in a better fashion than Yordenis Ugas. Because what happened to Errol Spence in training was an accident. And that's how this ties into Red Glove Militant, because Red Glove Militant looks at this situation through skeptical lenses, and I respect that and I understand that. You dig what I'm saying? But my perspective is different, especially in pertaining to Errol Spence, as far as an accident or a freak accident or a mistake. First of all, I gotta say, it is possible for Manny Pacquiao to have hurt Errol Spence's eye in the fight. But that's not how destiny played out for Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. It played out for him to have an accident in training, in sparring. And people got an idea of just, you know what I'm saying, somebody holding Errol Spence and just busting him in his damn eye until it bulged out of his skull or something. What I'm saying, a freak accident in an injury like that probably happened from a punch that didn't even have nothing behind it. You know what I'm saying? A boxer is used to getting hit hard, and you get hit hard in sparring, and your body make the adjustments to it to cushion the blow, and he probably wouldn't have had no issue. It probably was one of the, you know what I'm saying, that's how accidents happen. Little things in the blink of an eye. You know what I'm saying? Life can change at the spin of a dime. It probably was a punch that didn't even feel like nothing because it was a freak accident. You know what I'm saying? It could have been just a little feather punch or a little scrape. You dig what I'm saying? Or the laces went across his eye, or it could have been anything, but it didn't have to be just the hardest punch he ever took to his eye for it to have a detached retina. It could have been, the thing is, when it comes to an accident, when it comes to Errol Spence, and when it comes to my perspective, I'm gonna tell you a quick little story about my son. And I always say Errol Spence. That's one reason why I can't be a fanboy of Errol Spence, because I look at Errol Spence like almost on the equivalent level of my son, because I'm older than him. And if I can relate to him, it's more through looking that I lived damn near a decade before him, and I look at my son and I see more of my son in him than I see of myself in him, because I'm a grown man and Errol Spence is still growing. I watched him grow. So I look at Errol Spence and I see more of my son. So anyways, a couple of years ago, my son was playing in a basketball tournament for Sean Livingston. This is a picture of Sean Livingston, right? And a freak accident happened where he got called into the game. He was in the game for less than maybe a half a minute. He jumps up to get a rebound. He comes down and he lands. Nobody touches him. Nobody falls on him. But he breaks his tibia and his fibula. And it was a very dramatic situation. This is about to piss me off. Okay, pause. I'm gonna come back with the rest of the story later. Salute.
Sleepy going in, lively coming out. They be wondering what we talking about.